How many times have you chased after someone who never truly wanted you? Be honest with yourself for a second. How many late replies, last-minute cancellations, or cold conversations have you excused because you told yourself she was just busy, stressed, or needed more time? The truth is, most men waste months, even years, trapped in that cycle. They hold on to false hope, convinced that if they just try harder, if they send the right text, buy the right gift, or show enough persistence, she'll eventually see their worth. But deep down, you already know the reality. If a woman truly wants you, she will make it clear. If she doesn't, her actions will expose it every single time. This is where most men fail. They ignore the obvious. They explain away disrespect, thinking it's just a phase. They convince themselves she'll come around eventually. And while they wait, while they chase, while they sacrifice their time and dignity, she loses respect for them. Because in the eyes of a woman, persistence without attraction doesn't create love, it creates desperation. And let me be clear, women are not as complicated as society makes them out to be. Attraction is simple. When she values you, you'll feel it. When she doesn't, you'll feel that too. The problem is not her mixed signals. The problem is men refusing to see what's right in front of them. Ask yourself, how many years of your life are you willing to waste, waiting for someone to respect you? How many more chances are you going to give to a person who has already shown you she doesn't care? Every moment you spend chasing someone who doesn't want you is a moment stolen from your growth, your peace, and your future. And this is why I created Stoic Reflections. Here, we don't chase illusions, we face reality with courage. We cut through the lies and excuses and look at life as it is, not as we wish it to be. Because self-respect is not optional, it's the foundation of being a man. So stay with me until the very end of this video, because I'm going to reveal the 7 undeniable signs she's not into you. Once you see them clearly, you'll never waste your time again. You'll stop begging for attention, stop fighting for scraps of interest, and start living with the strength and clarity of a stoic man, calm, confident, and unshakable. 1. She disrespects your time. A woman's respect for you begins with how she treats your time. Because time is the one resource you can never get back. And here's the brutal truth. When she's truly interested in you, she'll value your time as much as her own. She'll want to see you, talk to you, and share moments with you. She won't take your presence for granted because your attention means something to her. But when she isn't into you, your time suddenly becomes cheap. She'll show up late and not bother apologizing. She'll cancel on you an hour before a date with some flimsy excuse. She'll leave you waiting hours, maybe even days, for a reply to a simple message, while staying active online for everyone else. And here's the part most men refuse to accept. This isn't about her being busy. This isn't about her having too much going on in life. It's about one thing: priority. People make time for what they value. If she truly wanted to see you, she'd make it happen. She'd rearrange her schedule if she had to. But when she keeps pushing you down her list of priorities, it's because she doesn't see you as important. And the more you tolerate it, the more you teach her that your time isn't valuable. This is where too many men fail. They excuse it. They tell themselves, she must be stressed, she must be tired, she must have a lot going on, but life gets busy for everyone, including her friends, her family, and yes, the men she actually likes. Notice how she never seems too busy for them. She still makes time to go out with friends, to scroll for hours on TikTok, to binge watch her favorite shows. She's not too busy for life. She's too busy for you. And once you accept it, once you keep waiting and forgiving, she sees you for what you've shown her, a man who doesn't value his own time. And let me tell you, nothing kills attraction faster than that. A woman cannot respect a man who doesn't respect himself. Here's a scenario. You plan a dinner date for Friday. She agrees, seems excited, but an hour before she texts you saying she forgot she had something else to do and suggests rescheduling. You play it cool, say no problem, and wait for her to pick a new date. But she never does. That's not an accident. That's not her forgetting. That's her telling you without words, you're not a priority. A Stoic man understands this. He doesn't beg, he doesn't chase, and he doesn't explain away disrespect. He values his time, and he expects others to value it too, because time is life. Waste your time on someone who doesn't want you, and you're not just losing minutes, you're losing self-respect. So here's the lesson. If she disrespects your time, it's the first and clearest sign she's not into you. Don't argue, don't rationalize, don't wait around hoping she'll change. A Stoic man doesn't cling to false hope. He walks away because he knows his time is sacred, and anyone who can't see that has no place in his life. Her phone matters more than you. One of the clearest ways to measure someone's interest is by watching where their attention goes. Because attention is the purest currency in attraction. A woman can say whatever she wants with words, but where she chooses to focus her mind in the moment, that tells you the truth. When a woman is genuinely interested in you, her focus is on you. She's present. She listens, she engages, she laughs at your jokes, she asks you questions. In her world, you matter in that moment. But when she's not into you, suddenly her phone becomes the most fascinating object in the universe. She's scrolling Instagram, replying to group chats, laughing at TikToks, or checking notifications while you're sitting right across from her. And don't fool yourself. It's not that she can't put the phone down, it's that she doesn't want to. She doesn't feel the need to give you her full attention because she doesn't see you as someone worth prioritizing. Think about that. If she was out with a man she truly admired, do you really believe she'd be glued to her phone? Of course not. She'd want to absorb every second with him. Here's the harsh truth most men ignore. If she's constantly distracted by her phone when she's with you, it means she'd rather be somewhere else. She's telling you, through her actions, that you're not the center of her focus. You're a placeholder, a background presence, while her real attention is on others. The mistake men make here is deadly. They tolerate it. They sit there silently, hoping she'll eventually put the phone down and notice them again. They don't want to confront it because they're afraid of rocking the boat. But the moment you accept being second place to her phone, you accept being second place in her life. A woman who respects and values you will put her phone away. She'll silence it, flip it face down, or leave it in her bag because she knows you deserve her focus. A woman who doesn't value you will keep you competing with a glowing screen. And brother, you will always lose that fight. Picture this. You're out having coffee. You're trying to share a story, but she's barely looking up. She's typing, laughing at messages, completely engaged with someone else. When you ask what's funny, she says, "Oh, nothing," and goes right back to texting. That right there is the message. She's showing you exactly where you rank, and it's not at the top. A Stoic man doesn't beg for attention. He doesn't sit quietly hoping she'll change. He recognizes the disrespect and he removes himself. Because the truth is simple. If she can't give you her presence, she doesn't deserve your presence. So here's the lesson. When her phone matters more than you, understand that it's not about technology and it's not about distraction. It's about interest. And if her interest is anywhere but with you, then the decision is easy. Respect yourself enough to walk away and give your time to someone who values it. 3. She's too busy for basic effort. Every man has heard this excuse before. I'm just really busy right now. On the surface, it sounds reasonable. We all have responsibilities, work, school, family, commitments. Life does get hectic. But here's the uncomfortable truth. People make time for what they value. And when a woman truly likes you, she will find a way to fit you into her life. If she's genuinely interested, she'll text you during her lunch break. She'll call you while running errands. She'll make plans in advance just to be sure she gets time with you. Even in her busiest days, she'll create space for you, because you're not just another obligation, you're a priority. But when she's not into you, suddenly every small effort becomes a burden. Replying to a message, "Sorry, I forgot." Meeting for an hour, "I'm swamped." Even a quick phone call feels like asking her to move mountains. And yet notice something important. Her busy schedule never seems to stop her from spending time with friends, posting stories on Instagram, or binge-watching her favorite shows. She's not too busy for those things. She's too busy for you. This is where so many men deceive themselves. They wait patiently thinking, if I just give her space, she'll eventually have more time for me. They rationalize it, believing she's in a tough phase or she's just overwhelmed. But brother, let me tell you, interest doesn't take breaks. When a woman wants you, she makes it happen. When she doesn't, she hides behind busyness forever. And here's the danger. The more you tolerate this, the deeper you sink into denial. You start rewarding excuses instead of demanding respect. You lower your standards, hoping that patience will eventually pay off. But patience doesn't create attraction. Respect does. And the moment you allow her to treat you as an afterthought, you've already lost both. Think about it. If a man of true value entered her life tomorrow, do you think she'd still be too busy? No. She'd move mountains to see him. She'd adjust her schedule, sacrifice sleep, and find any excuse to spend time with him. That's what genuine attraction looks like. The fact that she can't do the same for you tells you everything you need to know. A Stoic man understands this. He doesn't beg for scraps of attention, and he doesn't waste his life waiting for someone who doesn't want to be there. He knows that his time and energy are too valuable to be invested in excuses. He'd rather walk alone than sit around waiting for a woman who's already shown him he's not her priority. So, here's the lesson. When she's always too busy for you, don't argue, don't negotiate, and don't wait around. Respect yourself enough to accept the truth. She's not into you. Free yourself from the illusion and put your energy into the one thing that always gives back: your own growth, your own mission, your own self-respect. 4. Conversations feel forced. When a woman is genuinely interested in you, conversation flows like water. You don't have to think hard about what to say because she meets you halfway. She's curious about your life. She asks follow-up questions. She laughs with you. She shares her own stories. There's energy, a natural rhythm, a spark that keeps the exchange alive. That's what attraction does. It makes people eager to connect. But when she's not into you, conversation becomes heavy. It feels like dragging a dead weight uphill. Every question you ask gets a one-word answer. Every joke you make earns a polite smile or a fake laugh. The silence between your words isn't comfortable, it's suffocating. And deep down, you feel it. You know she's not invested, because you're the only one carrying the interaction. Here's the hard truth. She's not thinking, how can I connect more with this guy? She's thinking, how do I respond just enough without leading him on? That's why her words feel empty. That's why her tone feels flat. It's not shyness. It's not bad communication skills. It's low interest. Plain and simple. The mistake men make here is believing they can fix it. They think, if I'm funnier, more charming, more engaging, she'll open up. But attraction doesn't work like that. You can't force chemistry. You can't carry the conversation forever and expect her to suddenly spark with interest. If she wanted to connect, she would. If she doesn't, no amount of clever lines will change that. Pay attention to who starts the conversations. Does she reach out first, or is it always you? When she does message, is it out of genuine curiosity, or is it just necessity? A woman who values you will want to know about your day, your thoughts, your goals. A woman who doesn't will give you dry replies, vague answers, and nothing that shows real interest. And here's the dangerous part. If you keep pushing through forced conversations, hoping things will change, you're training her to see you as the man who won't take a hint. You're telling her that you're willing to fight for her attention, even when she's giving you nothing back. That doesn't build respect, it destroys it. A Stoic man knows the difference. He understands that genuine connection can't be forced. He doesn't waste energy dragging words out of someone who doesn't want to share them. Instead, he recognizes the lack of effort for what it is, a sign of disinterest, and he steps back. Because dignity means knowing when silence speaks louder than words. So here's the lesson. If every conversation feels like pulling teeth, stop pulling. Respect yourself enough to walk away from lifeless exchanges. Real interest doesn't have to be begged for. It reveals itself naturally, through energy, curiosity, and connection. And if you're the only one keeping it alive, then brother, it's already dead. 5. She avoids being alone with you. Attraction always seeks privacy. When a woman genuinely wants you, she looks forward to those moments when it's just the two of you. That's where connection deepens, where chemistry has room to grow, where her interest in you becomes undeniable. If she likes you, she doesn't need an audience. She doesn't need a group. She wants you. But when she's not into you, the exact opposite happens. She'll do everything she can to avoid being alone with you. She'll bring friends along whenever you make plans. She'll stick to group settings where the attention isn't on just the two of you. She'll conveniently run into you in public places but never carve out private time. And here's the truth. It's not because she's shy, it's not because she's overly social, and it's not because she's cautious. It's because she doesn't want intimacy with you. This is where so many men lie to themselves. They think, at least I'm still around her, at least I'm in her presence. But presence isn't progress. Being in the same room as her, surrounded by other people, doesn't mean you're getting closer. In fact, the longer you linger in that group comfort zone, the more you cement yourself as just a friend. And comfort without attraction is the graveyard of romance. Think about it. If she truly wanted you, she would be excited for one-on-one time. She'd make excuses to see you privately. She'd want your attention all to herself, because that's how attraction behaves. But if she consistently avoids private moments, she's sending you a silent message. She doesn't want intimacy with you. The mistake men make here is hoping that if they just stay close, if they just keep hanging around, she'll eventually see their value. They settle for crumbs of attention in groups, convincing themselves it's better than nothing. But in reality, every time you accept group time instead of private time, you reinforce her decision that you're not the man she desires. A Stoic man doesn't play that game. He doesn't beg for closeness that isn't freely offered. He doesn't settle for being a background character in someone else's story. He understands that if she avoids being alone with him, it's not a challenge to overcome, it's a truth to accept. And acceptance is power. So, here's the lesson. Stop clinging to group interactions as if they're victories. Stop telling yourself you're making progress when she refuses to share private space with you. If she wanted that intimacy, she'd create it. If she doesn't, no amount of waiting will change her mind. Respect yourself enough to walk away from women who avoid being alone with you, because a man who values his presence will only share it with those who truly desire it. 6. Her body language screams disinterest. Words can lie, smiles can be polite, excuses can sound convincing, but body language, that rarely lies. A woman's body will reveal the truth about how she feels toward you long before her words ever will. If she's into you, you'll see it without her saying a thing. But if she's not, her body will tell you louder than her voice ever could. When a woman is genuinely attracted to you, her body leans in. She faces you fully, her shoulders square to yours, her eyes lock with yours. She laughs and reaches out, maybe brushing your arm, maybe playing with her hair, maybe finding little excuses to close the distance between you. These are the signals of interest. Attraction doesn't hide, it gravitates closer. But when she's not interested, the opposite happens. She angles her body away from you, even if she's standing right next to you. She keeps her arms crossed, creating a barrier between you and her. She avoids prolonged eye contact, glancing at her phone, looking around the room, doing anything to avoid being fully engaged with you. If you move closer, she subtly steps back. Her energy feels closed, guarded, like she's protecting herself from an advance she doesn't want. And yet, here's where men sabotage themselves. They ignore the signals. They convince themselves she's just shy, just nervous, or playing hard to get. They cling to her polite words while completely overlooking her physical cues. But attraction doesn't need decoding. If she's closing herself off physically, she's already closed herself off emotionally. Think about it. If a woman truly wanted you, would she cross her arms, lean back, and avoid looking at you? No, she would open up. She would lean in. She would make space for you in her presence. The fact that she's doing the opposite isn't confusion, it's clarity. The problem isn't her mixed signals. The problem is your refusal to accept the signals as final. And here's the danger. Chasing a woman who's physically pulling away doesn't come across as persistence. It comes across as desperation. And desperation is the fastest way to kill whatever respect she might still have for you. A Stoic man sees reality for what it is, not for what he wishes it to be. He doesn't invent excuses to explain away the truth. If her body language is screaming, "Stay away," he listens, he respects the signal, and he moves on. Because a man grounded in self-respect doesn't force himself into spaces where he's not welcome. So here's the lesson. Stop ignoring the truth her body is already telling you. If she's leaning away, crossing her arms, or avoiding your eyes, don't chase her, hoping her words will one day match your fantasy. Believe her actions, respect the distance, and walk away with dignity. Because a man who values himself doesn't beg for open arms. He only shares his presence. 7. She flirts with others in front of you. Attraction is not complicated. When a woman is genuinely interested in you, she's not going to divide her attention. She's not going to risk making you feel like you're competing for her presence. She'll focus on you, make you feel chosen, and show through her actions that you're the man she desires in that moment. But when she's not into you, she'll have no problem openly giving her energy to other men, while you're right there. She'll laugh a little too hard at another guy's jokes. She'll lean in close when she talks to him. She might even touch his arm, give him playful eye contact, or act engaged in ways she never does with you. And the worst part, she doesn't hide it. She lets you see it. Now here's where too many men fail. They take this as a challenge. They think, if I step up my game, if I prove myself, if I compete harder, she'll finally see I'm the better choice. But attraction doesn't work like a competition. It's not a prize you win by outperforming another man. If she's already drawn to him, you've already lost her interest. And trying to fight for it only makes you look insecure and desperate. Understand this. A woman who values you won't put you in a position where you feel like you're competing. She won't use other men to test your reactions. She won't flaunt her attention elsewhere. Because when she respects you, she protects your dignity. But when she doesn't care, she'll entertain other men right in front of you without hesitation. Think about what that really means. If she can openly flirt with others in your presence, what do you think she's doing when you're not around? That's not loyalty, that's not attraction, that's a clear sign she doesn't see you as the man she wants. A Stoic man doesn't beg for attention, and he doesn't fight for scraps of interest. He doesn't lower himself to compete for a woman who's already made her choice. He understands that respect and desire go hand in hand. And if she's willing to disrespect you publicly by giving her energy to other men, then she's already told you everything you need to know. So here's the lesson. If she flirts with other men in front of you, don't see it as a battle to win. See it as a signal to walk away. Respect yourself enough to refuse the competition. Because the moment you compete for her attention, you've already lost her respect. And without respect, there is no attraction worth chasing. At the end of the day, brother, the truth is simple. When a woman truly wants you, you won't have to guess. You won't have to decode her behavior. You won't have to fight for scraps of attention. She'll show you in her actions, in her time, and in her energy. And when she doesn't, that truth is just as clear. She'll cancel plans, she'll ignore your messages, she'll avoid intimacy, and she'll make you feel like you're competing for her attention. You can either deny it, waste years of your life chasing false hope, or you can face it with the strength of a Stoic man. A Stoic doesn't beg for validation, he doesn't chase illusions, he sees reality for what it is and has the courage to walk away with dignity intact. Because walking away from low interest isn't loss, it's liberation. It's the freedom to invest your time, your focus, and your energy into what truly matters, your growth, your peace, and your mission as a man. This is the philosophy we live by here at Stoic Reflections. We cut through illusions, we face hard truths, and we embrace self-respect, because only when you respect yourself can the world begin to respect you. So now, I want to hear from you. Have you seen these signs before? Did you ignore them? Or did you walk away? Drop your story in the comments. I'll be reading every one. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, join us here at Stoic Reflections, and step into a community of men who choose clarity over illusion, strength over weakness, and dignity over desperation. Remember, your time is sacred, your presence is valuable, and your self-respect is non-negotiable. Walk away from what doesn't serve you, and you'll never lose.